Well, it was worth the price of admission, wasn't it? I started watching it thinking that he was almost extending an olive branch, Ashley, and then things went sour in the Q&A. He just started being a lot more pointed. As soon as he was questioned about why China objected to the independent inquiry into the origins of the coronavirus, he says it's been really unfair that you've said it's definitely from Wuhan, and a few other cracks in there as well, like the one you just described. So it was it was pretty startling stuff. It didn't go as far as the ambassador did in April with his suggestion that all these boycotts would come on, and they sort of have since. But again, some very strong language there, not backing away.
Not at all, and you're right. The off-script comments in the Q&A section of the whole event were definitely more revealing. I mean, really insisting that China has no interest in interfering with Australia's political affairs. Our security agencies here at home would beg to differ. Yes, they would.
But yeah, I don't think it'll do anything for the relationship, that appearance, put it that way. It started out with similar terms about the need for mutual respect, etc. And then it was et tu, brute, and all this other stuff, basically saying, what have you done to us? You kind of deserve it.
Yeah. Well, look, no doubt there'll be more analysis on Afternoon Agenda with Kieran Gilbert, who was there asking questions at that event a bit earlier. Before we get into question time, though, Andrew, what are you expecting? What's going to dominate today?
Oh, look, it's very simple, aged care. And Anthony Albanese's made no secret of that. He thinks he has a chink in the armour of the government with this. Scott Morrison and his ministers are getting quite exasperated. They're thinking a Victorian Labor government made a series of mistakes which led to an outbreak. Once you have an outbreak, it has to get in aged care. Once it's in aged care, there are deaths. The only problem with Scott Morrison is council assisting his own Royal Commission indicated the federal government could have done more in terms of preparation. So that's kind of the point it all hinges on. If it went anything like yesterday, they'll be deflecting to the Victorian government. And what does that do for tensions between the feds and the Victorian government? Even this morning, Scott Morrison at a press conference said Anthony Albanese seems to just be ignoring the fact there's an outbreak out there. And there's no secret why we only have outbreaks in aged care homes in Victoria. It's because there were mistakes made in terms of letting the virus out there.
And Anthony Albanese himself, we should let our viewers know, will be delivering a National Press Club speech in the same time slot tomorrow, so that'll be one to tune in on as well. As you say, Andrew, this week Labor's really seeming to tighten up its attack on the government over its handling of the pandemic.
Yes, it is, and it's the first. It's a situation where any bipartisanship, which occurred several months ago in relation to the pandemic, is shattered now. And again, we see what we saw after the bushfires at the start of the year, which is a real distaste for each other between Morrison and Albanese, which is, again, I guess, worth the price of admission, because they really don't like each other. You see that, you see the tension, you see the challenge, you see Morrison become exasperated and even angry at the challenge. And it'll be interesting to see if he changes tack in another direction, or, again, he's forced to push out towards Victoria. I know that certainly MPs who've had to quarantine aren't too happy with the Victorian government at the moment, for example.